Hello everyone, Dan here with The Wealth Instinct. I wanted to share with you my latest blog post. Your business and life's work create wealth and find fulfillment. But first, if I could ask a favor, if you could subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon so you get notifications. I create a lot of content around business, personal development, mindset, stuff like that. So today's blog and video is inspired a lot by a book that I recently read called Mastery, and by Robert Greene. And in the past, I've written about and spoken about following your heart versus following your head, and how I think, in society, a lot of times we're discouraged from following our heart and we're encouraged to follow our head. And I think this book, Mastery, kind of, to me, ties out the path and the journey in a way that makes sense to me. And that's that you want to follow your interests and you want to focus on them and develop them to the point of mastery. Because that's really what makes a difference between someone who follows their head and just, does sort of what other people expect of them or what society says is valuable and expedient. They can have a successful career, but they might struggle to find fulfillment unless they're able to find some alignment in their work and develop it to the point of mastery, right? Because then once you've mastered something, then fulfillment, I think, is automatic. Mastery sort of comes with that. And so that's really what this is all about. It's how can you create wealth and find fulfillment? Well, you want to use your most valuable resource to develop your most valuable asset. And the most valuable resource you have is your time. And time, I think, often we need to change the way we think about it. We often get caught up in trying to get more done and being in a hurry. And what we need to do is slow down and do less, but focus more on doing the important things. And the reason is, like, the easy stuff we can get done quickly. It's the really hard stuff that we have to take our time and slow down. That's where the real work begins. When you get past the easy stuff, the stuff that everyone's kind of got figured out, and you get to, like, really the heart of the problems, that whatever area you're working in, and you want to, whatever area that interests you, that you've been drawn to, that you've decided to pursue, in that area there's going to be common knowledge. There's going to be things that the experts in your trade or skill will know. And then there's going to be certain areas that make you scratch your head, certain areas that people don't fully understand. And if you have an inclination to get curious about those areas and focus on them, you have an opportunity to really learn something that no one else really knows and master something and make a really unique and meaningful contribution. And in doing so, you increase your market value and you increase your level of fulfillment, and you allow yourself to create wealth and have fulfillment. So what does this look like? So in the book Mastery, Robert Greene lays out the path to mastery. And he describes a lot of different masters, people that we think of as geniuses, but he talks about them before they'd found their genius or created their level of mastery that we call genius. And really it's just about following your natural inclinations, things that interest you, things that make you scratch your head, things that you're curious about. And just learning about these things. And you want to go through this apprenticeship phase. This is what's really critical. I think we tend to want success too early, or we tend to think that we're supposed to find success really early in life. And if you haven't made $1 million by 22 or 26, then you're never going to be a millionaire, right? Like, or if that's important to you, or whatever it is, right? And the truth is that everything happens on your own time, and it comes into how you use your time, and how much you focus on doing the things that will ultimately lead you to become a master in your craft, right? And so you want to go through this apprenticeship phase, take your time, go slow, learn from someone who's a master, put your ego aside. Be a student. Realize that there are people out there who know more about you, know more about your area of interest than you do, and learn from them. And you might not be able to find an apprenticeship program, but you can create one by finding people that you can learn from. And there might be several people that you have to learn from. There's going to be a time when you need to move on from the current mentor you have and find a new one. But you want to continue in this apprenticeship phase until you get to a point where you're able to really do some meaningful work. And this is your active creative phase, when you're really, it's the work that if you do it long enough, it will lead to mastery. You're embracing the struggle, you're getting curious, you're tackling the hard problems, you're learning to understand your area of focus better than most people ever will. And when you do this consistently over a long period of time, you reach this level of mastery, this point where your brain is wired to solve problems and find solutions so effectively and quickly that it baffles others. Like, other people see how you do this, and they just assume you're a genius. And they assume that because they haven't seen all the work you put in. They haven't seen all the time you've put in. I think Michelangelo had a quote. He said, if people saw how much time it took me to develop my craft and to make to create my art, they wouldn't call me a genius, right? We see the end result. We see what someone has created after years and years and years of focused effort, and we see something beautiful, amazing, mind-boggling, and we think, oh, they're a genius, and we sort of write them off as being a freak of nature, and we give up our opportunity to develop that, because we discount the value of practice, and we think, oh, if something's not easy for you, then it's not a natural ability and you're wasting your time. But the truth is, the most fulfilling things are the things you struggle with but keep going. You keep pursuing, and you embrace that struggle with. And when you do that long enough and consistently enough, that's what leads to the mastery. So to me, this idea that in this book really kind of bridges that gap between following your heart and following your head. And it's about following your heart, but following it to the point where you develop your knowledge, skills, and abilities to the point of mastery, where you've used your time, your most valuable resource, to turn yourself into a valuable asset. You have a high market value, you have a high value to society, to others, because you've gone through this process of developing your natural inclinations to this point of mastery. So, really awesome book. I suggest you check it out. And also, if you are interested and looking for a place to get started, if you're interested in learning more about whatever it is you're interested in learning about, find some program, find some training, find some books, and just start studying. Start studying, start having conversations, start learning, and it's going to connect you with other people that are experts in that area who you can learn from. And start learning. And learn until you're able to do the work, and then do the work and keep improving. If you are looking to get started in online business, or any type of online business or digital marketing or things like that, I really recommend the Entre Blueprint training. This is it's a really good program. It really breaks down all the options available in terms of online business and helps you understand what the best options are, and then if it seems like a good fit for you, some good next steps for you to move forward in your study. Well, thank you so much for listening today, and I appreciate you, and I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments, and let's talk soon. Take care.